3 years. That's how long I dated the most elegant, graceful, and absolutely perfect woman I'd ever met. She was a flight attendant, the kind you see in those airline commercials, always smiling, always composed, always flawless. For 3 years, I thought I knew everything about her. I was wrong, dead wrong, and it all started on the morning after our wedding. Let me tell you about the woman I married and the woman I woke up next to. I met Gina 4 years ago at a coffee shop near Incheon Airport. She'd just finished a flight from Singapore. Even after a 6-hour shift, she looked like she'd stepped out of a magazine, hair perfect, makeup subtle but elegant, that flight attendant smile that could disarm anyone. I spilled coffee on her uniform. Yeah, smooth move, right? But instead of getting angry, she just laughed. This soft, gentle laugh. She said, "It's okay. I have 3 more uniforms at home." That's when I knew I was in trouble. We started dating a month later, and for 3 years, Gina was, how do I put this? The dream girlfriend every guy thinks doesn't exist. She never raised her voice, never complained, never did anything embarrassing in public. When we ate out, she'd order a salad, one salad, and eat it slowly, delicately, like she was in a French restaurant even when we were at a food court. She never burped, never cursed, never even sneezed loudly. It was always this tiny, cute achoo that sounded like a kitten. My friends were jealous. My mom loved her. Even my dad, who never likes anyone, said, "Son, don't screw this up." Her apartment? Spotless, always smelled like lavender. Fresh flowers on the table, everything organized like a showroom. The bathroom? I used it once in 3 years of dating. Once. And it looked like no one had ever used it. The towels were folded in perfect triangles. The toilet paper was folded into a little triangle at the end, like in a hotel. I thought, this is the woman I'm going to marry. So after 3 years, I proposed. She cried. Those elegant, single tears that roll down perfectly without smudging makeup. She said yes. And 6 months later, we had the wedding. The wedding was perfect. Gina looked like a princess. No, scratch that. She looked like a queen. The ceremony, the reception, the photos, everything went flawlessly. Everyone kept coming up to me saying, "You're the luckiest man alive." And I believed it. That night, we checked into a hotel for our first night as husband and wife. Gina excused herself to the bathroom. She was in there for 45 minutes. When she came out, she was in this beautiful white silk nightgown, hair brushed to perfection, still looking like she'd stepped out of a bridal magazine. We talked, we laughed, and then we fell asleep. I woke up around 7 a.m. The morning sun was coming through the curtains. Birds were chirping outside. Everything was peaceful. Gina was still asleep next to me, her back facing me. I was just lying there, thinking about how lucky I was when suddenly, puffed, a fart. Not a tiny one, not a cute one, a fart. A real honest-to-God, wake-the-neighbors kind of fart. From my wife, my elegant, graceful, flight attendant wife. I froze. My brain couldn't process what just happened. For 3 years, I'd never heard her fart. Not once. Not even a little toot. And now, on our first morning as husband and wife, she just let it rip? I lay there in complete shock, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'd imagined it. Then she rolled over, still half asleep, looked at me and mumbled, "Morning, hubby," and went back to sleep, like nothing happened. That's when I realized I'd been living with a facade, but I had no idea how deep it went. We moved into our new apartment a week later, and that's when the floodgates opened. The bathroom incident. First morning in our new place, I woke up to the sound of running water. Gina was in the bathroom. The door was wide open, wide open. I walked past to get to the kitchen, and there she was sitting on the toilet, scrolling through her phone like she was on a park bench. "Morning," she said cheerfully, not even looking up. I stood there frozen, my brain short-circuiting. Do you want me to close the door?" She looked at me like I'd asked the dumbest question in the world. "Why? We're married now." For 3 years, I'd used her bathroom once. Once, and it was like entering a sacred temple. Now, the door doesn't close, ever. She brushes her teeth while I'm showering. She applies makeup while I'm, privacy, that was apparently a dating phase thing. Remember how she used to order one salad and eat it like a sparrow? Gone. Our first dinner at home, I made pasta. I served her a normal portion. She looked at me and said, "That's it?" Then she got up, went to the kitchen, and served herself a plate that could feed a small army. She ate the whole thing. Then she had seconds. Then she ate the garlic bread. Then she finished my pasta. "What?" she said, seeing my face. "I was holding back for 3 years. Do you know how hard it is to pretend you're full when you're starving?" Turns out, flight attendant meals are tiny. She'd been compensating at home for years, but during our dating phase, she'd hidden it. Now? Our grocery bill tripled in the first month. Then there was the sleeping situation. First night in our apartment, I was so excited. Our own place, our own bed, starting our life together. I fell asleep holding her, thinking about how perfect everything was. I woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of a chainsaw. At least, that's what I thought it was. Turned out it was my wife snoring, not cute little snores. Snoring, like construction-level snoring. And she was sprawled across the entire bed like a starfish. I was clinging to the edge for dear life. When I mentioned it the next morning, she just shrugged. "Yeah, my sister told me I snore. I thought you knew." "How would I know? We never slept together before marriage." "Well, now you know." The list kept growing. She leaves wet towels on the bed. She eats cereal straight from the box while standing in front of the fridge. She watches TV with the volume at maximum because she likes to feel immersed. She talks to herself, full conversations. Sometimes she answers herself in different voices. Everything I thought I knew, a performance, a 3-year-long performance. But the real shock, the thing that made me question everything? It happened at our first dinner party as a married couple. My college friends came over, their wives too. Everyone wanted to see the newlyweds' apartment. Gina was a perfect hostess, graceful, charming, making everyone feel welcome. Then someone opened a bottle of wine. "Oh, Gina doesn't drink," I said confidently. "She never drinks." Everyone looked at Gina. She looked at me. "Baby," she said slowly, "I've been waiting 3 years to drink in front of you." She poured herself a glass, then another, then another. By the 4th glass, my elegant, soft-spoken wife had transformed into someone else. She started loudly debating politics with my friend Mark. She challenged my friend David to an arm wrestling match. She won. She did a shot of soju, slammed the glass down, and yelled, "Let's go karaoke!" My friends were stunned, their wives were stunned, I was stunned. At karaoke, she grabbed the mic and belted out rock songs. Full performance, jumping, headbanging, the works. At one point, she climbed onto a table. A table. My friend Tom leaned over to me and whispered, "Dude, who is this woman?" I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. The next morning, after everyone left and Gina was sleeping off her hangover, I sat on the couch. I felt confused, betrayed maybe. For 3 years, I'd dated one person. Now I was married to someone completely different. Who was the real Gina? The elegant flight attendant? Or this tornado of chaos? When she finally woke up, she found me sitting there, staring at the wall. "We need to talk," I said. She sat down looking worried. "Did I embarrass you last night?" "It's not about last night," I said. "It's about everything. The farting, the bathroom door, the snoring, the eating, the drinking. Who are you?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said something I'll never forget. "I'm me, the real me. For 3 years, I was trying to be what I thought you wanted, the perfect girlfriend, delicate, feminine, low maintenance. I thought if you saw the real me, the me who farts, who eats like a linebacker, who snores like a bear, you'd leave. But then we got married, and I thought, if I can't be myself with my husband, who can I be myself with?" She looked at me with tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry I lied, but I was scared. Scared you'd see me as gross, as unladylike, as not enough." And that's when it hit me. For 3 years, I'd fallen in love with a performance, a carefully curated version of a person. But now I was living with a real human being. A human being who farts, who leaves the bathroom door open, who snores, who drinks too much sometimes, who eats like she's training for a competition. A human being who'd been hiding herself because she thought that's what I wanted. That was 2 years ago. We're still married, still in the same apartment. And yes, Gina still does all those things. She farted this morning, in fact. Didn't even apologize, just said, "Good one, right?" and went to make coffee. The bathroom door still never closes. Last week, she ate an entire pizza by herself while I was on a work call. And 3 nights ago, her snoring was so loud, our neighbor knocked on the wall. But here's what I realized. The woman I dated for 3 years, she wasn't real. She was a character Gina created because she thought that's what would make me stay. The woman I'm married to now, she's real. Messy, loud, chaotic, and completely herself. And you know what? I love her more for it. Because loving someone isn't about loving their best behavior. It's about loving them when they're at their most human. It's about accepting that the person you marry will fart, will leave the bathroom door open, will snore, will get drunk and do embarrassing things. And that's okay, because that's what marriage is. It's not a performance. It's 2 people choosing to be themselves, flaws and all, with each other. So to all the guys out there dating someone who seems perfect, be prepared. Because after the wedding, the bathroom door opens, literally. And to all the women out there pretending to be perfect, stop. The right person will love you for who you really are, farts and all. Gina just walked by and burped. Didn't say, "Excuse me," just burped and kept walking. 2 years ago, that would have shocked me. Now, it just makes me smile. Because that's my wife. My sassy, chaotic, beautiful, real wife. And I wouldn't change a thing. Well, maybe the snoring, but everything else, perfect.